Well, good afternoon. It is Easter Monday, the 5th of April. 5th of April. And I'm in a good place. I'm on the AT. Yeah, I'm on the AT. South of Shenandoah Park. Not too far south of Shenandoah Park, actually. Okay, so here's what's been happening to me the last few days. I went home for a 0 day. Not sure if it was going to be a 0 or a double 0, and literally as I was getting ready to leave after the double 0, packed, car packed, everything, ready to get in the car, go. I said, I'm not going to go today, and maybe not tomorrow either. So I think it was a quad 0 at home, but that's okay. I think I needed that. I think I deserved that. And I started doing some sort of serious planning for the Continental Divide Trail. And the longest pole in the tent was getting a COVID vaccination, because I don't want to get on a plane unless I've gotten a vaccination. I don't want to be able to rely, I don't want to have to rely on hitchhiking, shuttles, the normal ways of getting around it. I'm not planning on doing a backstitch method out there because it's just too hard to stage 2 vehicles out there. I don't live there. So one day I was getting stressed out because there were so many uncertainties, and the uncertainties flow from the timeline of getting a vaccination. You should wait 2 weeks after the second dose if you get 2 doses, etc. And I started stressing out. And the other thing was, I got some outstanding advice from my former trail partner Zorro, who's done the Continental Divide Trail, and he was telling me where to pick up my snowshoes and my ice axe and what length ice axe I should have, etc., etc. And I was like, ice axe? Snowshoes? Oh, well, I was thinking micro spikes are nothing, for the San Juans. So that was a dose of reality, and then I'm mentally toting up, okay, it's like 4.5 pounds for snowshoes, and micro spikes are heavy, and an ice axe is, yeah, that's, even a really lightweight one is, half a pound right there. And then I watched Dixie's video last night, the whole, 2-hour plus video, got almost all the way through it. And she's, couldn't go through the San Juans, at least on the high route. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I watched Ramdino's most recent weekend wrap-up. And he was saying, well, yeah, there are people who have been getting a vaccine at, I think it was Walgreens or CVS in Hiawassee. They just walked in and they said, sure, you don't even have to be a Georgia resident. And after a momentary thought that, well, maybe I should just drive down to Hiawassee. And I'm like, I'm not going to drive to Hiawassee. But I got the idea, well, maybe I'll just try in my local area. I'll just see if there's a place, walk in, and play the AT card. Now I've yogied a ride, many rides. I've yogied water. I've yogied food. This is the first time I've ever yogied a vaccination. I went into Front Royal, went to a local grocery chain that has a vaccination, has a pharmacy and does vaccinations. And I gave them the puppy eyes and said, well, I'm hiking the AT, is it possible to get, what can you do? And they said, well, sir, we have a cancellation here. Would you be interested in waiting a half an hour for the cancellation? Well, heck to the yeah. And the other thing that sort of got me into a funk last week was, for some reason, I had the idea that both the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines, the second dose was 2 weeks after the first. So that was like backing up my timeline, right? So I started thinking, so then I found out that's not true. Pfizer's, you get the second dose 3 weeks after the first dose. Moderna is even worse, 4 weeks after. So I'm thinking, well, even if I get a Moderna one now, I have to wait a month to get the second dose. And, you know, I mean, in theory, you're supposed to wait 2 weeks for the full effectiveness of the second dose. So I started thinking, well, what I really need is the Johnson & Johnson one, which is a one and done. And it so turns out that the grocery store, that's what they had, was the Johnson & Johnson. So as of when I left the house today, I had no appointment or anything to get a vaccination, and I've been vaccinated for 2.5 hours now, 4.5 hours now. Oh, so I am, it's amazing, sort of psychologically, this creates a clear path for my planning, certainly for the next month, with all sorts of options as to how I could get out to New Mexico, how I get from Lordsburg, which is kind of the southernmost town that's served by mass transit, to the actual border monument, etc. So, but psychologically, it's just like a weight has gone off my shoulders. There is more physical weight, however, on my back, because I'm carrying more food to get this segment done than I normally have been. And I can notice the difference. And then I started thinking, well, this isn't so bad for you to toughen up a little bit here, because you're probably going to be taking sometimes 4 or 5, 6 liters of water, and gear that you're going to need there in the desert, and then not in the sense of flip-flopping, but then moving on to the high mountains. So I better get used to heavier loads. Anyway, I am having a fabulous day. So I hope you are too. Met a nice couple here just a few minutes back, the Praise team from Roanoke, and they're flip-floppers heading from Central Virginia. They said they had 180 miles done, I guess, going up, and then they'll be doing an inside-out flip-flop. Wow. It's a great day. Great day.